All right, these questions state write a quadratic equation with a given transformation. So write a quadratic equation. I'll give you this format right here because remember we might add something out front or in the front or in the back. So I kind of left myself a little bit of space, but this is the format we're using, and we're just filling the transformations. Okay. So we want number 11. We want a quadratic equation that stretches vertically by 3. So we need to multiply the outside by 3. And shifts left 5. So to shift left, we got to be inside. Remember, everything inside is backwards. That's your equation. Okay. Number 12, write a quadratic equation that shrinks horizontally by 4. To shrink horizontally by 4, okay, that's inside because it's horizontal. And to shrink, normally you would divide, but everything inside is backwards, so we need to multiply by 4. So that's 4x. Okay. By 4. It shifts up 2 units. So that's an outside thing, so we need to go up by 2. Remember this 2 right here, just simply what makes it a quadratic. And then it reflects across the y. To reflect across the y, that's an x thing. So that goes on the inside. All right. So that's y equals negative 4x squared plus 2. All right. At this point, I kind of want you to try the rest of them. And just come back and watch the videos to see how you're doing. Okay? So pause the video, try the rest of them, and I'll keep on rolling through it. Number 13, what a quadratic equation that reflects across the x-axis. To reflect across the x, that's an outside thing, so we'll put a negative on the outside. It shrinks vertically by 3. So to shrink vertically, remember you think shrink is actually dividing, but it's, oh no, it's the outside. I'm sorry. Vertically is outside. So to shrink by 3, we need to divide by 3. So that's a 1/3. All right, and shifts left 4. So left is an inside thing, but it's backwards. So it's plus 4. Okay. Number 14, write a quadratic equation that shifts up 7. So on the outside of our parentheses, we want to put a plus 7. Shrinks horizontally by 8, reflects across the y-axis, and shrinks vertically by 2. It shrinks horizontally by 8, so that's horizontal, that's an inside job. So you would think divide, but really everything's backwards, so we need to multiply by 8. Right? It reflects across the y-axis, so that's an inside thing, so we need to multiply the inside by a negative. And last but not least, to shrink vertically by 2. Vertical is outside, so we need to divide. That would be your equation. Go ahead and pause and try the rest if you haven't already, okay? I'm going to move on. All right, number 15, write a quadratic equation that shifts up 3, shift left 7, reflects across the y-axis, and stretches vertically by 5. So I'm going to start off by doing the outside stuff, okay? Because there's a lot of things going on. To do the outside, let's start off here. Stretching vertically is an outside. Shifting up is an outside. So those are outside. These two are inside. Okay? So let's do the outside. To stretch vertically by 4, I got to multiply by 4. All right? And to shift up 3, we got to add 3 on the outside. So that's my outside stuff. To reflect across the y-axis, I got to divide. I got to multiply my x by a negative. And to shift left 7, you would think plus 7. However, remember when I divide that by what's in front of x, this becomes a negative 7, which a negative 7 inside goes right. So what we need to do is make this a negative 7, okay? I know it says shift left 7, so you would think add, but remember, when I divide this by the negative in front of x, then it becomes positive. So that means it'll go left 7. All right? So while that may feel a little weird, that's what's going on. Okay, that's one thing we dealt with on that homework assignment we did on Thursday. No, Friday, whatever. Okay? Last but not least, 16. 16 has the same type of issue. So try it if you have not paused and tried it already. But here we go. I'm going to start off by doing all the... let's do the outside ones first. Stretches horizontally by 2. Well, that's an inside. Shifts left 7, that's an inside. Reflects across the x-axis, that's an outside. And shrinks vertically by 5, that's an outside. And shifts up 3, that's an outside. So I need to reflect across the x, so that means a negative on the outside. And I need to shrink vertically by 5, which means divide by 5 on the outside. And last but not least, I need to shift up 3, so that's a positive 3. Okay? Then on the inside, we're going to stretch horizontally by 2. So I need to divide by 2. And so you can say either 1/2 x, or you can say x over 2. Alright, personally I like the 1/2 x better, but it's whatever you want to do. Okay, that's to stretch horizontally. To shift left 7, you would think add 7. However, when I divide by a 1/2, this number becomes 14. Okay? So what can I divide by a half and still get a 7 right there? Well, the answer is 3.5. When I divide 3.5 divided by 1/2, I get 7. You stick it in your calculator. Type 3.5 divided by parentheses 1/2. I guarantee you it'll spit out 7. Okay? So that is your final equation. Okay? This one's harder than most, and I did that on purpose. But it's okay. If you can get through this problem, you can get through any of them.